Who's that? Commander Claw. Who's bad? Commander Claw. Welcome back to Breaking Brews. This is episode 2 of the Infinite Guideline Station. I'm going to read over it real quick, but in episode 2, I'm actually going to focus on the stationing mechanic. So I got a bunch of cards that do everything and synergizes with stationing. So let's get right to it. Infinite Guideline Station, all 5 colors, white, blue, black, red, and green. Legendary artifact spacecraft. When it enters, create a tapped 2/2 colorless robot artifact creature token for each multicolored permanent you control. Station is the next ability. Tap another creature you control. Put charge counters equal to its power on the spacecraft. Station only as a sorcery. It's an artifact creature at 12 plus charge counters. When it meets that requirement, it becomes a 7/15 flyer that says when it attacks, draw a card for each multicolored permanent you control. So, episode 1, I discussed everything about it, right? Episode 2, which is this one, I'm talking about everything involving stationing. I got a bunch of good cards for you. And stay to the end of the video for episode 3. I'm not going to tell you what that is. So, let's get started. Now, look, the scenario is you got these 2/2 robots that enter the battlefield tapped. So they are unable to station your commander right away. However, I have Alibu, Ancient Witness, for 3 and Boros, 4/5 legendary artifact creature, Golem. Other artifact creatures you control have haste. So yeah, your robots won't be able to attack. We're not worried about that. However, whenever one or more artifact creatures you control attack, which is going to be on your next turn, and I know it's slow and a little clunky, this Alibu says it deals X damage to any target and you scry X, or X is the number of tapped artifacts you control. The reason why I put this in here, because, hey, when you station your Infinite Guideline Station with the robots that you will tap on the next turn, you go to attack with any artifact creature, Alibu can be untapped and his attack trigger still goes off. So you'll be able to do X damage. Okay. Let's say that's 5 tapped robot artifacts that you stationed. And you get to scry X, which would be 5 as the example. I know it's a little slow, a little clunky, but it's there. And don't act like other artifact creatures you control have haste. Is not awesome. If you have this at the right time, maybe your Infinite Guideline Station enters the battlefield with haste. Just say. I'm really excited to bring this card for you. Okay. Wildfire Awakener for X1 and Boros is a 3/2 body. Human Wizard. It has Convoke. Your creatures can help cast the spell. Each creature you tap while casting the spell pays for 1 generic or 1 mana of that creature's color. So let's say, for example, we have our 2/2 robots from our guideline station. Then Wildfire says, when it enters the battlefield, create X 1/1 red elemental creature tokens with, whenever this creature becomes tapped, it deals 1 damage to target player. So, all those 1/1 red elementals that you created, when you station them for your spacecraft, they will automatically ping a player. That is getting double usage out of something. I know y'all like this card. I know it's a little expensive, not as in price, but X. But still, if you are tapping creatures to make more, but still creatures, the 1/1 red elementals, then they're just tapping to station the commander. You're just pinging down your opponents, and it only gets better when you have damage multipliers. And who says you can't keep tapping for the station mechanic once the creature meets the threshold? Woo! Next up, we have Quest for Renewal. For 1 and a green, that means you can put this out on the battlefield early. It's an enchantment. Whenever a creature you control becomes tapped, you may put a quest counter on Quest for Renewal. As long as there are 4 or more quest counters on Quest for Renewal, untap all creatures you control during each other player's untap step. This is great. We're going to be tapping creatures to fuel our station mechanic. Then, once we meet the threshold of 4 quest counters, we can untap all of our creatures during each other player's untap step. I know, Seaborn Muse is the better option. However, this is an enchantment and needs to be removed with destroy or exile artifact. Exile enchantment. But remember, you're making robot artifact tokens anyway, so you got a battlefield with power. Unfortunately, you cannot station at instant speed. You can only station at sorcery speed. So, yeah, just a scenario where you just untapping creatures for no reason. It, I get it. It has its flaws, but untapping your creatures, always having blockers is always a good thing. Okay, we got Raja, Coalition Warlord. For 2 red and a green, 3/3 body, legendary creature, elf warrior. Has the ability Domain. Whenever Raja becomes tapped, another target creature you control gets +X until end of turn, where X is the number of basic land types among lands you control. So the Domain mechanic works very well in a 5-color deck, right? And if you have all 5 different basic land types, that means your creature will get +5/+5. However, remember, we want to station and tap Raja. I like saying Raja. I know it's probably Radha, but it's probably Raja. We can tap Raja to station our commander, our spacecraft, then give another creature +5/+5. Pretty nasty. So, there are a bunch of creatures that have high power at low CMC that can fuel or station your commander. I don't know why I say fuel. Fuel station, infinite guideline station is just all in my mind together. Uh, let's talk about Yargle. Yargle has always had a funny, oh, that's interesting, a funny power and toughness. So let's start on the right hand side. Yargle, Glutton of Urborg for 5 mana, 4 and a black. It's a 9/3. Now, if you know the story with him and Moltani, ironically, it doubles the power. So he is a 18/6. 9/3 to 18/6. Adding Moltani on it, I think that's great. I didn't even notice that until I put this in the video. Wow. Wizards, they really do stuff like this, the little secret stuff. So look, 6 mana, you can get an 18/6, or 5 mana, you can get a 9/3. Your option to station your commander. So look, hey, thank you for watching the video. On the right hand side, move on to episode 3. Hopefully, I'm bringing you some pretty good brewing ideas. Let's go.